2 weeks ago, we covered the shocking smash and grab style heist of the Louvre. Since it happened just a few days before recording, we only had information on how the heist went down and the security issues that allowed it to happen. But today, we are going over new information that has emerged since our last Louvre bonus episode. It's a sequel. Welcome to Heist Club.
Welcome to Heist Club. How's it going?
Good, Jesse. How are you today?
Louvre Part 2. I'm ready to get into it. Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. Everyone loves a sequel. I mean, actually, not everybody loves a sequel. A lot of people love sequels.
Yeah, some of them are better than the original, but not usually. But this one's going to be the former.
Yeah. Is this Godfather Part 2? Is this Toy Story 3? Is this...
This is Terminator 2.
Terminator 2?
This is World War II. Arguably the more popular World War.
I was like, is that a movie? World War Z? No, World War II. Okay. Yeah, really tough World War I. We barely talk about World War I anymore. But World War II, better villain, right? Had a better villain.
Better villain.
Yeah. More memorable. So,
yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into it. First, a recap. At around 9:30 a.m. on October 19th, 4 men arrived outside the Louvre Museum driving a Montmobile, or a mechanical lift truck, to ride up the lift to the second floor window where they use a high-powered disc cutter to break the glass. Then they smash through 2 glass displays and steal pieces from the Napoleon crown jewels. Security staff followed protocol, call the police, help evacuate guests, do not intervene. The 2 thieves exit the way they came, ride down the lift. Then the gang escapes on scooters, and the whole thing took about 7 minutes.
Boom.
7 minutes, in and out, 7-minute abs. What happened to the stolen jewels? As of today, only 1 piece has been recovered. The crown belonging to Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, which was, as we said last time, dropped by the robbers as they escaped. Quite an expensive thing to drop. The crown's damage is still being assessed, apparently. We've not heard any updates on that. And the rest of the loot has not been found. We do have an update on the rest of the loot, which is that the missing collection is now being valued at $102 million. Last time they had trouble valuing it. 102 actually sounds even lower to me than where I thought they might go. But still a pretty penny, Jesse.
That's a lot of money. Yeah, you're right. You think of these things as being historical and priceless, and it's $1 trillion billion. But so I guess you think of like that 102 million seems low, but it's also a bunch of money.
It's still a lot of money. I mean, and a lot of money to be stolen, well, in jewel form from a museum. But it's also 8,800 diamonds. We know there were the sapphires, there were the pearls, there were the emeralds. It's just, I don't know. If they told me $1 billion, they'd be like, totally, yeah, $1 billion, I guess. I mean, also, I'm not a jewelry appraiser, so I have no idea the actual value of these things.
Yeah, same. I am also not a jewelry appraiser.
Yes, neither of us are those things. Sorry. That's a different podcast. Meanwhile, the Louvre has transferred more precious jewels to the Bank of France, where they sit in a vault 85 feet below ground. So I don't know if they really expected a second hit, like a follow-up, was it a shockwave after an earthquake? But for safety's sake, they've been tucked away somewhere else with real security. I mean, that's really what it is, right? It's like the Louvre's basically admitting, oh, our security is crap, so we probably should not have these. Here you go, Bank of France.
Let's put it deep underground. That's the vault I want to see stolen. Someone should, if you're listening out there, someone should rob the Bank of France.
Yeah, that'd be the real, it's like, oh, you're giving me a challenge. Someone over there is probably thinking that now.
There you go.
Future episode, perhaps. So the investigation, as we talked about last week a little bit, began right away with forensic analysts swabbing the scene and the truck for traces of DNA. They also easily recovered the thieves' tools, which may point to the amateur thieves theory. And a team of 60 investigators and a specialized task force got work on interviewing witnesses. And of course, we can't not reference our favorite dapper man, but everyone hoped that our 3-piece suit, umbrella, dapper hat, I like the word dapper, I'm using the word dapper a lot, who was in that photo, was involved in the case. We'll have an update on him later in the episode too. I don't know why we're delaying it, but we're just, for dramatic effect, we're going to delay that update.
He looks like if you recolored a film noir film.
Oh man, totally. He would have been a huge movie star in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah. So, questions with security. Our last episode covered a leaked 2021 security audit that said the Louvre security was extremely lacking in places. The entire security system was running on Windows Server 2003.
Wow.
That's a long time ago.
That's a lot. I mean, Windows feels a long time ago to me. I know Windows is still being used by people, but I have not used it since before 2003.
Same. Parts of the surveillance network was still analog. 60% of the rooms in the Sully wing and 75% in the Richelieu wing are not protected by video surveillance. Cultural Minister Rashida Dati said that recommendations for changes started this year.
Oh, only this year did they realize maybe they should have more video surveillance coverage in their rooms. It's like...
It's the freaking Louvre.
It's just so insane. I mean,
yeah.
There has to be an assessment somewhere of like, if this is just, I mean, I know we've said a little bit it is, like this is more the norm in a museum versus a bank, but still, I mean, is this just the way it is at all these museums? And are there going to be more, even more thefts at museums than we've been seeing recently? It's insane to me.
Yeah. You're like, if this one doesn't have security measures, maybe none of them do.
Why would any?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also learned of a civil war between the Louvre employees and the administration over staffing issues and security flaws. And probably the most offensive security flaw, the Louvre replacing gorgeous Rococo cases with a safe trap door with boring modern cases with no safety features.
Idiotic.
So still not sure why they did that.
No explanation for that. No good explanation for that. I'll say that. Yeah.
This week we do have some answers and some ridiculous new information. First, let's clear up some misinformation. You may have seen some mugshots floating around of the thieves. There's some photos of some dudes.
Not just dudes. These are attractive dudes.
Hot. You're right. There's some photos of some hot dudes. These are not our thieves. These are not our hot thieves. Despite some people hoping that the robbers would look this sexy, anyone remember the hot felon craze of 2014? Kind of looks like that. Maybe they're inspired. This second guy almost looks a lot like him.
Not exactly.
Not exactly, but there's similarity. It's the eyes. Yeah.
I did have people text me like, "Oh my God, have you seen the photos of the thieves? You got to do an episode of them." So, I mean, I know everyone falls for this isn't even AI. This is just someone posting photos of other people who've been arrested who are attractive, and people are just clamoring for any Louvre information and to make it even more exciting, and people really fell for it.
Yeah, people love a hot criminal. In fact, one of the mugshots actually belongs to a guy named Stefan Dobashian. He posted on Instagram saying that one of those handsome fellows going viral is him, and that the mugshot is also real, but no, he did not commit the Louvre heist. His mugshot was from when he was arrested on burglary charges in Florida in 2010. That's nowhere near Paris.
No, Florida?
Also, plenty of AI-generated videos of the heist as it plays out have also been popping up. They can be convincing, but the best way to fact-check them is to examine the video's surroundings. You can quickly tell that they are not in the Louvre.
If people don't look for those details all the time, though. I saw some definitely go around on social media, and I was like, I haven't seen this before. This is weird. This is coming out now. So, I don't know. I don't think I immediately said, oh, it's definitely not real, but I didn't interact with it the way because I was definitely skeptical. Not that I'm
it's
perfect
hard to have a mindset of like questioning your reality all the time. It's like, hold on, let me look in the background.
Yes.
Like
Is the Louvre heist even real? Is any of this real?
I don't know.
Are we in the Matrix?
The new age of questioning everything. French media has since dubbed the robbers the Commando Team, but with how quickly the walls closed in on them, the operation was anything but covert. 100 investigators worked 7 days a week, analyzing 150 pieces of forensic samples and 189 items of evidence. They learned that 9 days before the heist, our thieves put out a fake moving ad and stole the small truck-mounted lift. Sadly, our dapper man is not one of the detectives. Media outlets tracked the photographer down, and he told them that he had no idea who the man is. Perhaps he dislikes to be sharply dressed and stand next to police officers.
I was saying, this is one of my theories at one point, is it's just a guy who wanted to be photographed. I mean, you dress like that, you're like, hey, there's a camera? I want a camera on me. Clearly that guy he wants attention. And you got it. You got it.
The investigators' greatest weapon, France's DNA database. It houses over 4.4 million profiles that have been collected over the last 30 years. It started in 1998 after Parisian serial killer Guy Georges was able to be released from prison and kill 5 women after his first conviction. If you refuse to provide a sample, you get a year in prison and a $17,000 fine. That's pretty wild. Investigators also compare DNA samples to 30 other European national databases, even one in the U.S.
Look at that. Look at that. Cross-Atlantic cooperation.
I love that Death Cab album.
Ben Gibbard at his best. That's true.
Yeah.
And they did identify one of the thieves, and I guess it's a social media influencer, which is kind of interesting. The man has been identified by police as 39-year-old Abdoulaye N, but some, not me immediately, but some may recognize him as Dudu Cross Bitume, which translates to Dudu does motocross. So that's certainly an interesting world of social media.
Wow.
He's a bit of a local celebrity, so I guess it's okay we don't know him. Posting videos on social media, performing motorbike tricks on the streets of Paris, which sounds kind of cool. In those videos, he's riding a Yamaha T-Max, which is the same one used in the getaway. And we have links here to X, I called it X, not Twitter, and TikTok of him doing some of his tricks. There's definitely skill there. I mean, it feels like a movie. It's the kind of guy you would go to. Like the movie scene is, I don't know, how are we going to get these jewels out of the Louvre? And the guy's literally on his TikTok. He's like, what about this guy? And he like shows his phone to the other person. And they're like, perfect. And they lock him down and,
Yeah, it's definitely straight up Fast and the Furious. This guy's doing wheelies. Let's get him.
Exactly. Yeah. This is Paris Drift, And he actually did it. So he also posted fitness videos, which I thought, he's giving advice like muscle building. You watch these videos, like the acrobatics are very impressive. They're like, it's like the jungle gym equipment at like a local playground, and they're doing all these crazy moves on it. He also posts with the catchphrase, always closer to the tarmac. So he does sound like a movie character. He also used to work as a security guard at the Pompidou Museum in Paris, and he was arrested just 6 days after the heist in his home in the suburbs surrounding Paris. His neighbors describe him as, quote, helpful, decent, and a man who wears his heart on the sleeve. So he'll have an interesting story to tell about how he got roped into this, I'm sure. We can credit that swift arrest to the DNA evidence that you mentioned earlier. He left DNA on one of the display cases and the many items abandoned at the scene. So pretty sloppy. This isn't his first rodeo with Paris law enforcement. In fact, he committed this daring heist while going through court proceedings for damaging public property. So he's already in the system. That trial has now been delayed, understandably. He also has 15 other convictions, including possession and transportation of drugs, driving without a license, and causing danger to others. And he robbed a jewelry store in 2014. So, guess,
wow,
helpful, decent, heart in the sleeve, but also a lifelong criminal.
Yeah.
And then Paris prosecutor Laure Bicot says that he, quote, partially admitted his involvement. I don't know exactly what partially admit means, but that's what he has done.
He's like, yeah, no further questions.
Yeah. He's like, did I do it? Maybe I did it. He's playing games with them. He's just trying to increase his social media following. That's what it's about, probably, right?
Yeah.
And then the others, so far, police have officially charged 4 suspects, including our influencer, and 3 more have been arrested but not formally charged. One suspect tried to leave France from Charles de Gaulle Airport with a one-way ticket to Algeria, so he was trying to get out of town. His DNA matched the scooter on the getaway, and this 34-year-old man had been living in France since 2010 and is a former garbage collector. Laure Bicot said that he also gave a minimalist statement.
Partially admitted as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that mean he, partially admitted, or does this mean he barely said anything? Like,
did you do it? Yes. That's my minimalist statement.
So vague with the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, maybe it'll all come out eventually, I hope. Another accomplice got caught because of DNA found on the bucket of the Montmeuble, a 37-year-old man who has 11 previous convictions, 10 of which were for robberies. So again, these people have committed crimes. It just sounds like not on this level before. Like they've robbed things. It's just the Louvre. Again, you were expecting Thomas Crown Affair level thieves, and instead we're getting career criminals who've robbed things, but never anything like this. That's what it seems like so far, right?
Yeah, it seems like they've been building up to it. They're definitely career criminals.
That 37-year-old man was also convicted in the same jewelry robbery that the influencer Dudu Does Motocross took part in. So they've worked together before. And the girlfriend, again, we don't have names. Wish we had names for everyone. The girlfriend of the 37-year-old man got arrested too. She is his longtime partner, and they also have children together. Her DNA was also found in the bucket. Her attorney argues that her DNA could have been transferred from her person to her partner, and that's how it ended up in the bucket. Maybe that's BS. Maybe it's true. I'm not going to say right now.
Interesting.
The attorney says she is devastated and does not understand how she is implicated in any of the elements she's accused of. I don't know. Her partner has committed at least 10 robberies before. She can't be that shocked, right? She really had no idea he was doing anything? Maybe she didn't know he was doing this, or maybe she really was involved and her lawyers are trying to get her off, right?
I mean, my guess is that she didn't do it, but knew about it. I don't know.
Women commit crimes too, Jesse.
What?
Did you see Set It Off? Queen Latifah
You're right.
did a whole lot of criming.
You're right.
If Queen Latifah could do it, then so could this woman in Paris.
Wow.
So even though 4 suspects have been charged, the last member of the group heist is still at large. And so far, everyone who was arrested lives in the North Paris suburbs. So something going on up there. The theories, on our last episode, we discussed the 3 most popular theories: organized crime, petty street criminals going for a big score, and, as I just kind of said, of course, a Thomas Crown Affair situation. And now it seems like we may have our answer, you know? It definitely seems like the petty criminal route.
Right.
Good news, kind of. Paris prosecutor Laure Bacot, we talking about, says that the suspects' profiles, quote, do not correspond with those one generally associates with organized crime. So to Bacot, our thieves reveal a trend happening in France, which is that, quoting her, what we are seeing now is that people with no significant association with organized crime are progressing relatively quickly to committing extremely serious crimes. I guess that's a sign of like desperation for criminals, right?
Yeah.
Or it's just opportunity, right? If other people are doing it and they're getting away with it, or big things are being stolen from museums, then everyone starts doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, experts like Aaron Thompson, an art crime professor, says that the guys who actually enter the museum are usually all hired hands, and they're almost always caught in these cases. So perhaps the ones that have been caught are just fall guys for a larger operation. So the mystery continues.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see that being a part of it as well. Following the heist, Louvre director Laurence Decars attempted to resign, but was denied by culture minister Rachida Dati. More embarrassing for the Louvre, French newspaper Liberation alleges the Louvre security password is none other than, can you guess it, Todd?
Password? Password 123. Oh, Louvre. That's even worse, I think. They literally have so many works of art to name their password after. Also, you shouldn't even do that, right? It's supposed to be like a random combination of letters and symbols, especially the Louvre. Yeah. I don't know. My password's not, it's better. My password's not great, but it's better than Louvre. It's better than Todd. It's better than my address.
Well, my password's is Louvre.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's password should be Louvre. Yeah, that's right. Good point. Good point.
Another password was Thales. I don't know how to pronounce that. The name of the company that designed the software. Also, Paris Police Chief Patrice Ferret revealed that the first call to the police did not come from the museum security, but from a passing cyclist. Despite his heavy criticism, he also rejects placing police inside the museum, saying, quote, the issue is not a guard at a door, it is speeding the chain of alert. He's more in favor of security-banned AI tracking of guests and pedestrians. And the Louvre authorization to operate security cameras actually expired in July. They forgot to submit the paperwork.
What?
What is going on with the Louvre?
What? I have so many questions about this.
They forgot, Todd. But they didn't forget the password.
I personally am going to accept Laurence Decars' resignation. I know the culture minister did not, but I don't know. That's an oversight. That's a bad oversight. I don't know. Come on.
Yeah. We also have some firsthand accounts from the security guards. One said initially she thought it was a situation where a visitor became violent. When she realized it was a heist, she and her colleagues evacuated the gallery and locked the thieves inside. Police received plenty of video evidence from security guards who could only watch as the heist unfolded and the thieves escaped. Former French culture minister Aurélie Philippe believes the museum shifts towards audience satisfaction rather than protecting artifacts is to blame for the heist. 20 years ago, a gallery assistant's primary focus would be 70% for security and 30% for visitor experience. But in recent years, that has flipped.
That's complicated, right? I mean, the museum's open so people can enjoy it, and you want to make sure they have a good experience. But it is true, without security, then there's nothing for visitors to see. This is true at any experience, for any tourist experience or any, not just tourists, locals too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like the day-to-day is almost like customer service for a security guard, but they also had to be ready for a heist.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's tough.
I guess you need to have the right protocols in place for security, right? There's always a baseline for that. And then once that's in place, then you can worry about everything else. They just dropped the ball on everything. Basically everything.
Yeah, I mean, as a security guard, it was probably their first heist. They probably didn't even know themselves how they would react,
Well, and locking them in the room seems smart until you realize that they didn't come in through the museum. They came in through a window, So it's like, good, we got them. We locked them in the room, but they easily escaped and didn't help in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the jewels? Even though 4 suspects are in custody, investigators have yet to find any trace of the jewelry. A bad sign for those who want to find them unharmed. Like we said last time, the pieces are impossible to sell in the black market, especially with all this publicity. The smartest thing to do, and the worst, we have to say, is to pry off the gems and melt the metals, which is what we thought was happening in Antwerp. That was our thought last time, and so far we have not been proven wrong. Right. So once you do that, though, they can be mixed with other jewels, remade into sellable product, but they have to find someone willing to do it. Art crime professor Aaron Thompson, who we mentioned before, says you don't even have to put them on a black market. You just put them in a jewelry store. It could be sold down the street from the Louvre. So I hope they've checked down the street from the Louvre then. Maybe that's where they are.
Yeah.
However, Christopher Marinello, CEO of Art Recovery International, I love that name, holds a similar pessimistic viewpoint. He said, if the jewels are not recovered in the first 48 hours, we are way past that now. If the jewels are not recovered in the first 48 hours, they are most likely broken up into smaller jewels and gems and sold in the marketplace. He also advocated for a, quote, a Dirty Harry type interrogation to get the suspects to crack. Okay. So
we need to beat them.
He really wanted to get his thoughts on policing into this conversation. It's like not just focusing on art recovery. It's like a Dirty Harry type. So we need Clint Eastwood.
We get it, buddy. You love Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Okay. No, Christopher. No. We've moved past that as a society.
Bad, Christopher.
And there's no proof that works. They'll say something just to say something, Christopher. Christopher.
I know.
Not like it's episode
Christopher.
It's episode of The Sopranos, right? Chrissy. Okay. However, destroying them will tank their value as the jewels hold no historical worth. Robert Whitman, a former senior investigator of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that's the FBI. I don't know why I did just say FBI. People know what that is. The FBI's art crime team said, the real art in an art heist isn't the stealing, it's the selling. Amen. Thieves are usually, quote, better criminals than they are businessmen. You've definitely seen that. Whitman is also a real jewelry nerd. He says that even if the pieces are damaged, the jewels can be identified by their clarity alone, and the gold can be identified by its purity. Oh, well, that's great. I don't know if everyone knows that. It's not something we thought melt down, it's gone, but Whitman seems to believe even if it's melted down, maybe you could still tell it was the jewels. Although, if you catch them at that point, it's all over anyway, right? Yes, you caught the jewels, but they're not the jewels anymore. They're just something new.
Yeah.
And then the jewels are also not privately insured, which means there won't be any no questions asked reward money. And the French government has not yet offered a reward either. I don't know if that would help solve it or not, but it feels like you at least usually see that. And on a case this big, why wouldn't you? Laure Bacot gives one more plea to whoever has the jewels, saying there's still time to give them back. Okay. It's not much of a plea. You could give it a lot more.
I don't think there's any jewels to give back.
Yeah. So what do we think now? Was this a case of petty criminals biting off more than they can chew? I think yes. A master plan to sell off France's most valuable jewels. Maybe also that. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the question. Did they act alone, or was there someone behind it? Holding the puppet strings and really telling them what to do? Because they're not speaking. They've given minimalist statements, if you would. A lot of mysteries remain here. Again, I think a lot has happened for it being just a couple of weeks. We know a lot detail wise, and they've really have people in custody already. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I think my theory is there might be someone else behind it. I don't know. I just feel like there might be more to it. But
it's also more interesting if there are, right? If there's, those details would certainly keep people's attention going when you find out who's really behind it. If we find out,
Right.
or when we find out. I mean, this was a pretty quick sequel to our first episode. We had enough information. The threequel, is that going to come out, or the squeakquel, however you say it.
squeakquel.
Thank you. Sorry, you're better at it than me. Maybe we learn a bunch more tomorrow, or maybe this really is a slow burn, and we'll talk to you again in 2028.
Yeah. See you guys in 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, the K-pop Demon Hunter sequel is not coming out till 2029, so not everything can move fast. We'll see who's still into it at that time. Will people still care about the Louvre heist in 2028 and 2029? Will they still care about us?
Who knows?
This is getting very existential. Anyway, Jesse, I'm glad we had more info to tell, though, and I still find it riveting. And my social media feed is still full of this. And will that continue? We shall see.
We shall see. Until next time. Until the next update.
Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Heist Club is a production of School of Humans, hosted by me, Todd Weiser.
And me, Jesse Neismonger. I do all the fancy audio and music editing too.
This episode was researched and produced by Carolyn Talmadge. Our senior producer is Amelia Brock.
Our production manager is Daisy Church. Our executive producers are Virginia Prescott, Brandon Barr, and Elsie Crowley.
Join us again next week for Heist Club, and don't forget to rate and review. Thanks.